Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday where we share words of wisdom. Today, our topic is whatever role you play, play your role. It sounds simple, doesn't it? But a lot of people are having a hard time processing that, or they have a hard time accepting that. Whatever role you play your role. I think sometimes we look at people, we look at what someone else is doing on our left hand side, on our right hand side. And when we see that it looks more attractive, when we see that it seems like it brings them a lot of attention, or it may bring them on a greater platform, then we desire those roles, and sometimes it just may not even be your place to move in those areas. Why? Because you may just be the one on the back end. You may be the one doing the small role. You know, you may not have the major role in this play or in whatever environment you're in, whatever corporation or ministry, business, um, whatever is going on in your life. You may not have that big role. They may not be calling on you or your expertise or your knowledge or your gifting for this project. But we got to know our role. We got to know the role we play. And I think sometimes we get caught up in covetousness. We want to covet what our brother has or what our sister has because it just looks more attractive. It looks more glamorous. It looks more shiny and glittery, and everybody is attracted to it. But how many of you know that when we realize what is inside of us, the potential that we have, it doesn't matter what role you play in. You want to be in the best place possible. You want to be locked in to your purpose. You know what I'm saying? You want to know that it's not about the flashy titles. It's not about, having my name called. You know what I'm saying? It's not about me being recognized for everything that I do. Sometimes you can be on the sidelines or you can be in the back seat, but you still play a vital role. Because in order for a business to function, everyone has to play their part, no matter how great or small their part is. You just have to know that God is the one that you need to be seeking to find out if you're pleasing him in your service. Because you're not going to always get that pat on the back. You're not going to always get that assurance from people. You're not going to always get a thank you for what you do. Even though your heart is in it, even though you may have the passion for it, you may not get those verbal praises. You may not get a compensation for it. But you have to know that you're not doing it for man. We're not supposed to be men pleasers. We're supposed to please God. And I think that's what brings the complication part there, is because we get caught up in pleasing man. And then when man fails us, or when man does not appreciate us, or when man doesn't validate us, or when man does not affirm or approve us or give us the credit, then we get bent out of shape. We feel bad. We feel depressed. We want to leave the business. We want to leave, the church. We want to leave the family. We want to leave. That's the response, because I'm not being appreciated for what I do. I'm not valued for what I do. And like I said, when it all boils down, we should be pleasing God, not man. Our focus should be pleasing him, not man, not these people on earth. You know why? Because if you're seeking affirmation, you're seeking that verbal praise, you're going to get let down. Because you may get it today, but next week you may not get it. Next month you may not get it. It'll be a dry season for you for a while. Because people will never really appreciate the value that you bring to anything that you put your hands to do. They're not going to, they may tell you thank you. They may show you in a form of monetarily or a gift or what have you, but they will never be able to really appreciate fully your value. That's God's job. That's his job. That's why, like I said, you have to be, and I'm just going to throw it out here. You have to guard your heart. You have to guard your heart when you're in a workplace position or when you're doing a service and when you're using your gifts or your talents for whatever, you're doing, that may be to the betterment of a business, to the betterment of a ministry, to the betterment of a family or some type of function, whatever the case may be. You give your all and do all that you can, but don't be looking for because many times you may not even receive it. But our focus should be, God, are you pleased with my service? I'm not going to step outside of my role. I know what my role is. If my role is to be in the back, if my role is to be in the trenches to get my hands dirty, and I can't be sitting up there on the platform looking pretty, if that's my position, I don't mind. Because I want to be where purpose is. God said he knows the plans that he has for us. We want to know that plan. We want to follow that plan because he has the master plan. But we step outside when we try to do our own thing and try to create our own way and try to do it the way we think. Because there is a way that seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof is the way of death, destruction. You don't want to go in that pathway. You do not want that for your life. It seems right. Well, I think, and we don't consult with our Father. Lord, what is your plan? What is my purpose in this thing? I know I've been called, someone asking me to do this, but what is my purpose in this? And what is your plan for me in, dealing with this? Do you desire me to pursue this? Some people say, oh, I just had this burning in my, okay, well, we still have to consult with the Father about many things. There have been things that I have felt because I was in the environment of it. I felt like this was what I was supposed to do. I went into it and I realized it wasn't what God was calling me to do because it was hard. And every time I pushed, it's like it was a fight. And I kept pushing. It was like I was kicking against the pricks. You kicking against the pricks, you're going to get hurt every time. That's painful. So that was happening to me. Then God spoke to me in the midst of me being outside of his will, because that's what it was, is I never consulted with him concerning the matter. He said, some battles are not worth fighting for. And I sat there and I was like, my revelation became, oh, I need to keep pressing because they trying to stop me from achieving my goal. I kept pushing and I kept kicking against the pricks until it got to the place where I couldn't do it any longer because the burden of that thing was so heavy. It's like I could no longer hold on to that thing. I could no longer be in that position. I had to let it go. It was painful. I cried because I thought within myself that I made the right decision. And some things and some roles that we partake of, we think that we making the right decision. We never consulted with the Father. We never asked him what he thought. Because I think sometimes we don't want to be told no. We don't want to be told that this is not what I want you to do. And then we have to accept that and move on from there. But I'm telling you, when you step inside the role where you're supposed to be and you know that you have consulted with God and you got a clear understanding of what it is that you're needing to do, things will be easy because God is going to make sure that your steps are ordered by him. He's going to make sure that that thing, you can flow through it and you're going to get to your destination. Why? Because you have asked for counsel. You have sought the Lord concerning that matter. God said, I'm going to open this up for you. I'm going to open this up for you. I'm going to allow you to walk in this thing and I'm going to let it be easy. Because I'm going to be with you. And so, we have to do this, you all. Whatever role that you play, no matter how great, no matter how small, play your role, play it well. I don't mind. I like being behind the scenes. I've never really been the type of person that always likes to be up front. I like to do the behind the scenes work. Why? Because somebody has to do it. And I always feel led to do behind the scenes work. Because humble is the way, and if you humble yourself, God will exalt you. He'll put you on a platform. But you got to get to a place where you humbling yourself, and it's not about I. It's not about me, but it's about him and what he desires for me to do. Because there may be people who he has put in my pathway he wants me to minister to. And I have to be in position. I have to know my role. And I have to play my role. So God bless you all. I hope and pray that something that I said encouraged you. Something that I said made you look at things in a different way. And we shall be back again for another Wild Wednesday. All right, you all. Know your role. Play your role. All right? Okay.